You'll remember from yesterday's video that everything had been sanded, so I moved it over to one of my main benches. What I have on my router table are this is the base frame. These are the back legs, these are the front legs. We're going to start assembly over here on top of the table saw table, because the table saw table is square, so that'll give me a nice square surface to assemble that. Yesterday, after I finished cutting all the waste wood off of all these pieces right before taking it to the router table with the spiral bit, and I used the scroll saw to do that. I finished cutting everything, and I was preparing to start rounding things over, or actually not rounding things over, using the spiral bit to cut everything to fit the pattern, when I saw a mail truck go by out my window there. And guess what that mail truck delivered? Perfect timing, right after I got everything done. But the good news is it's ready to go on. All I've got to do is put it on the spindle there. You'll see the grooves on the back of the wheel. It goes on there. It goes on the motor spindle. We'll put the little C-clip, which you'll remember I have right there, on 3 neodymium magnets. And we'll have this thing back together in no time, and it will be ready for Adirondack chair numbers 2 through 6. If my wife likes this pattern, and I really think she's going to. It had all the features that she asked for. So what I'm going to do now is get the drill out, get some screws, some bolts, and we're going to start setting up on the old table saw there and assembling our Adirondack chair. I want to give everybody a little progress video. Things are coming together. I'm happy with how it's coming together, but I will tell you, these plans that I have leave a lot to be desired. There are no installation instructions. There is a diagram. It's not even really an explosion diagram, but basically this is how it shows you to put the chair together. And everything is marked. The pieces are all marked, and those pieces are marked based on this cut list right here. But there's just not a lot of info, so I'm just taking my time and just very, very slowly assembling things. And I'm not going to lie to you. Take a look right there. There's a couple extra holes. I did the same thing on the other side. I installed it wrong. I had to take them off. So what we'll do is, once we get the chair together, I'll put a little wood filler in there, let it dry, and then we can sand it down. And hopefully, they come out all right. But so far, so good. I'll finish this one up and show you what it looks like. I've got all of the back slats in. I'm very happy with them. I am working on the seat slats, and what I'm trying to do, it calls for 11 seat slats. I had cut 12 because one of them looked kind of rough, but when I rounded it over, it actually turned out perfect. It took the rough area off, and I think I'm going to go ahead and leave 12 slats in here from the perspective of there's 3.5 inches gap. Now, it doesn't look like it right there because they're all kind of, smashed around, but I've mounted the back one, I've mounted the front one, and I slid all the slats forward, and I measured, and there's a 3.5 inch gap between the back slat and the next closest one when they're all smashed forward. So I divided that out, and it came to just shy of 3/8 of an inch between each of these. So I've got, where did I put the little bar? I've got these little brass bars. This is 3/8 of an inch, so I'm going to use this as a spacer. I'm going to start mounting them from the front back. And what will happen, the back one will be just a little bit closer because it's actually 0.32 and this is 0.38, is that right? 0.32 versus 0.375 is what this is. So, but that's okay because that's where your butt will be. So that will, if they're closer together, it's just going to give a little bit more support, I think, in that area. So I'm going to go ahead, get these mounted, and then we'll work on getting the arms mounted. And I'm getting darn close. I'm getting excited about seeing what this is going to look like. All right, everybody, I'd like to show you the chair. It is finished, fully assembled, ready to go. I have not shown my wife yet. She still does not know I'm making this. She doesn't watch these videos. Couple of things, I learned a lot. The pattern, like I said, was bad, but with this prototype, if she likes the feel of the chair when she sits in it and likes the look of the chair, I'll be able to make a lot of adjustments to the next few that I make. So I'm pretty excited to show it to her. I'm gonna get it out, well, it's raining right now. I wanted to set it out on the back porch and then just set in it and then give her a quick text and say, hey, come outside. Just kind of surprise her, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I'll let you know what she thinks of it and if we're gonna be making any more. And like I said, I've got a lot of changes to make to this plan to just sort of tweak it. All right, everybody, I showed the chair to my wife. She came out, she saw it, she sat in it, she loved it. The only thing that she wants to change on it is on the back. She wants them to be about 6 inches longer. She likes a really high sweeping back on her Adirondack chairs, so that should be a lot of fun. But I have a ton of changes I want to make. I just need to get my notes together, and then I'm going to basically disassemble this chair and redraw everything. I mean, there were things I had to cut and things I had to do as I was putting it together, but I'm going to redo my patterns and get them dialed in to where I can knock these out relatively quickly. My buddy called me, the guy that I bought the jet lathe from, and he found the tool rest for my lathe. And I told him I'd swing by and pick it up. And when I got to his house, he was out in his shop, and when I got there, look what he had waiting for me. A whole bunch of cool stuff. He's done selling stuff, and what's left is going to auction, and his point was, this stuff's going to go to auction. People are not going to know what it is. I'm going to get pennies on the dollar. I'd rather give it to somebody who's going to use it. He gave me all kinds of cool stuff. Look at this. This is for your bandsaw, and it's a fence for the bandsaw. You mount the bars on the front and back. Gives you very accurate, see there's your bars there, very accurate cuts. I got some drawbar collets. This tool is really neat. I don't know how well you can see it, but notice how the piece, the side is cut off of it. This is for getting into finial turning and getting super tight finials. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff here. I'll be going through this, breaking it all out and seeing what all's in there. There was stuff thrown in the bottom of the boxes, and he's just like, take it because I'm getting nothing for it. So that was awesome. But that's about it for me, guys. I'm wore out. I'm going to call it quits. Oh, real quick, check it out. Bandsaw is working again. I didn't I didn't shut the doors because I remembered this fence, and I want to see if that will work on this particular bandsaw. I certainly hope that it will. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But that's it for me. I'm calling it quits. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get cleaned up, have a shower, probably just work on my notes for the chair, and then we will be disassembling that chair over the next few days because I want to take it apart and I want to redraw the patterns. I just want to get everything dialed in so that I can make them quickly and easily, because I'm going to be making 6 of them for my wife. And then my neighbor, I think he wants 2. He'll be doing a lot of his own work on his, but he'll be in the shop working on that kind of stuff once everything clears up from our lockdown. So, oh, and by the way, don't freak out. When I went to this guy's house, we were in the garage, we were outside, we stayed about 10 feet away from each other, had gloves on, had a mask, tried to keep it as safe as possible, but I would not have done it. I would have waited, except he's moving, and I had to get this stuff before he leaves because otherwise it was gone. So, but we were very careful and, just stayed clear of each other, but it worked out great. That's it, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks a lot. I'll see you again real soon.